Well, preseason's always a grind time for a lot of teams, and I don't think we're any exception to that. Certainly, part of what we're doing right now in this phase is just really planning, trying to map the course not only for preseason, but what happens out of conference, what happens in conference, hopefully, what happens in postseason. So, just a lot of planning and preparing, a lot of speculating, but mostly just seeing how pieces fit together, putting it on paper, and then hopefully seeing that work out on the court. I think anytime you make postseason, you're excited. We have a small group of returners, so there's a sense of we've been there, done that. We'd like to take another step further, but we have a group that's incoming that is not experienced, hasn't maybe played a Division II type schedule, so we'll have to see what kind of product we can put on the floor. Certainly from a coaching perspective, you always want to take the next step and never retract. But I think initially for us, it's just figuring out how do we work together as a team, and then letting the pieces fall where they may. You can't control outcomes, so as a coaching group and as players, you control what you can. But there is a sense of, let's see if we can't just push the envelope a little bit, improve upon last year, play a little bit better in postseason, and get better outcomes. I think talent only gets you so far. You can't win without talent. John Wooden would tell us the same thing. You have to have the talent, so that's important, but you have to have the experience. I love volleyball because the team component is so critical to success. There's so many interdependent pieces. You can't have one player just carry you. So, I just love the part that volleyball is a team sport, and you've got to be playing really good volleyball to excel and to compete and to get good outcomes. So I'll take both, experience and talent if I can. We had a really difficult year the year before just because we had some skill positions that were just not filled by the recruiting class. And so once we filled those positions, we were back to a competitive type of team. And so I think every year, you just don't know what you're going to get. It's a hard conference. It's competitive. I think that brings the best out in us. I think if there was anything last year that really hindered us, it was our non-conference schedule. Our focus was so squarely on how do we compete in conference that we did that well for the most part, but out of conference did poorly. So I think we need to bring a little different perspective and look at the entire schedule, review it, prepare ourselves for everything that is in front of us, and take one point at a time. You can't get the cart before the horse. It's not going to lead to success. We are going to play the schedule that we have. We're going to compete hard. We have every intention to represent the GLIAC well and be proud members of this conference. And so we're going to compete. And if we're not in postseason, we're going to make those teams that leapfrog us better. We want to be a challenge every day. We want to work hard in the practice setting, and we want to compete really hard when we're in matches. So yeah, we're just going to work hard and represent the conference really, really well.